Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today is just going to be an eye look. I'm going to be trying out this Creepshow palette from Dark and Glam Beauty. If you're interested in seeing how I get on with this, then stick around. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. If you're new, welcome again. Please subscribe, and yeah, let's jump into the video. Okay. I'm going to show you the palette. This is a Creepshow. It says first issue collector's edition. They just kind of made it look like a comic book. You have the brand Dark and Glam Beauty down in here. I did swatch this whole palette when I did the mystery bag unboxing. I'll try and link that down below. So I'm not going to swatch it all here, but this is what it looked like. You've got, this is a shimmer. This is a shimmer. This gray one's kind of a satiny shimmer. You do have a pressed glitter. This black one acts more like a sequin shade. It's a little bit drier. And then you've got 4 traditional mattes. So let's see what kind of look we can come up with. Okay, this is the look I came up with. It was actually pretty easy once I got to the end. I'm not using that many shadows. I do have my color switch. I'm going to clean my brushes in between. I just want to take a little bit of the blue on this pencil brush just to kind of blend this blue edge down into inner corner just a hair. Okay, so we'll go in with primer. I will do that on camera. I'm just going to use my Gerard Clean Canvas. This is one of my favorites. I've said before, if you don't want to spend the money on this, I think it's 10 bucks. It's cheaper than the MAC paint pot. The MAC paint pots are pretty good too. They're a little bit of a wetter base, not as wet as this one. This one's concealer level. You can use whatever concealer you would normally put under your eyes, or like I have a couple that I don't like for under my eyes per se that I will use, like if I'm going to do a cut crease. So whatever you have on hand. I just like that this is a little bit wetter, so it's going to grab and help give us the most pigment we can get. Now I just went in, this is very close to the Sigma E25. I'm going to go in with Creepshow, which is the black. It looks glittery, but most of the glitter did not translate. And I'm going straight in with the black. You're going to get the most pigmentation from your deepening up shade if you are applying it directly to the base, because it's going to stick. I use the black and the blue, and that's all that I have in my crease. If you don't want it quite this intense, don't go directly in with the black shade. Whatever is going onto the primer is going to give you the most. You're going to get more staying power and more pigmentation out of it. So if you don't want the black to be quite as intense, go in with the blue first. This also kind of gives me an idea of how the black performs. And then I cleaned the brush off. I'm just going to go around the edges just to soften them up. That'll help me when I blend. And this blended out, like you can see, it's pretty easy. The only reason I have to dip back in is because I have creases on my eyelids. So I'm just trying to get the pigment down into the crease. But I was able to get, just one dip. These are a little bit kick-uppy, like the matte shades, but they're not bad. It blends out really well. I think it's a pretty good formula. I would say it's slightly better than the Creature Cosmetics palette. I like the formula on this just a little bit better. If I was going to compare, like, same indie level. And I thought the pigmentation on the Creature Cosmetic palette was good too. The black in here seems a little bit easier to blend. And then I'm just going in with the blue. It's called Siren. It's the dark. There's only one blue shade. It's the matte blue in this palette. Just put that in the crease and a little bit on the black, and it's pretty much just blending itself out. I've only had to go in twice. It's not taking me much to blend at all. And then I'm going to go in with just a pencil brush and that same blue just to bring it down in here a little bit. It's hard for me to get fluffier brushes down in my inner corner because my eyes are small. The only thing is there is not a good like brow bone highlight shade for me because this is gonna like be my skin tone. So I just grabbed a highlighter. I went with Moon Cruiser from Kaleidos. It's one of the blue ones. They have Skywalker and Moon Cruiser. Moon Cruiser's got a little bit of a darker blue undertone, whereas Skywalker is more of a bright blue, if that makes sense. So I went with this one just because of the blue undertone. And then I took a little bit on the pencil brush just to concentrate some up in here. But I generally will just grab a highlighter if I don't have a brow bone shade. So that is not a deal breaker. And then I took a flat brush and my NYX glitter glue. We're gonna put this just on the lid. And I use this with every shimmer. I've never been a big fan of wetting my brush. I just use a glitter glue. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with Model Kid, and then under the lower lash line, I just used this gray. It's kind of a satiny, what is it, gray matter. There's not a super cool tone shade for the lid. The shimmers are all, the other one's a gold. But I think this works with the blue. I took it with the brush first, and then I went in with my finger to give it a little more impact. And then I did go in with a secondary like shimmer just to give it a little more sparkle. So I'll show you what I used. So that's just with the finger. I think it looks pretty good on its own. I took a little bit of gray matter. That's what it looks like. It's not, I wouldn't put all over my lid just because I like a little bit more sparkle. You could. And then I took a little bit more on my finger, and this is just going to help me blend out this outer part. Okay, and then the rest of the lid, since I have this, and I forget to use this, this is the Urban Decay, the Moon Dust palette. I went in with the shade Lithium because it looks pretty close. Since I have this palette, there's what it looks like. Straight in with the finger. If I wanted more impact, I would do another layer of the glitter glue, but I think this is fine. That shade, that first shade, the Model Kid from the palette's a little bit crumbly just because of how much I had on the brush, so I did get a little bit of fallout. But I just take a fluffy brush and a light hand. I usually don't have a whole lot stick to my face. There's a little bit of shimmer I can see that came down, but some of that could have been from the Urban Decay palette too. If you don't want any glitter on your face, I would suggest just doing your eyes first. So I'm going to clean off that flat brush, and I'm just going to go in with my highlighter on the inner corner, and then I'll bring it down after I put the color on the bottom. For my waterline, I just went with the NYX. This is waterproof in deep blue. I was going to mix this with a lighter blue that I have just to make it a little bit brighter, but my eyes started watering after I put this on, so I just left it alone. But for more of a statement, you could definitely use a brighter blue. I just was not able to go back in. And then I'm just going to do a little chubby blending brush in that gray matter shade. This is dense enough that I can get up close, but it's fluffy enough that I can blend this out at the same time, if that makes sense. I have a few of these, and I like them for the lower lash line. Normally I would do another shade underneath, but there wasn't really another one. I didn't want to do the blue and have this be any darker than it already is. So I just took the gray by itself and then just blended it down. And I think it blended out nicely. Just a little bit more of the highlighter. And I'm just going to bring it down into that gray, just a hair. And it'll give me a little bit more sparkle. I don't think I'm gonna put lashes on today. I will put some mascara on and some sort of lip, and I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, and I just did mascara. I didn't put any liner on my top at all. I did use a new mascara. This is the Uma, what kind is this? I think this is a volumizing one. Salute to the Sun mascara. I don't normally look at mascara super close because I do wear false lashes. The top doesn't really matter, but I can see it. My lashes are short. They don't hold a curl really well. So this is with 2 coats. I think it's fine. It looks nice on my lower lash line. That's really what I pay attention to more. And then my lip is just one of the lip clays from Kaleidos. This is in Golden Raisin. There's a shade, it's called Cider from Black Moon Cosmetics, and it's, you know, similar mustard kind of yellow. This is a little bit, has a little more brown in it, so I think this is a little more wearable of a version, but I've really wanted that lipstick for a long time. It's just expensive, so I've never purchased it, but very, very similar shade. Like I said, this seems like it has a little more brown in it, so than the Black Moon one, but I think it went well with the shimmer that we've got going on the lid. Overall, I like this palette a lot. I think the pigmentation is good. It was on sale. I think it's normally $15. They had it down to like $14 or $12 at one point. So definitely check out Dark and Glam Beauty. I will link them down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not already before you leave. And I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.